Spending more time looking at grocery labels in the store, registered dietitian Shannon Crocker is going to show us what to look for if you want to buy Canadian. And even you got tricked up.
It has happened. Sometimes you're in a hurry in the grocery store and you just look for that maple leaf and you think, oh, that'll be Canadian. Not always the case. Okay. So it depends on what you're looking for in the grocery store. I'm going to give you a few tips on how to shop Canadian with confidence.
Okay, first of all, let's look for made in Canada.
Right. So there is made in Canada and there's product of Canada. So you will see that on, for example, let's hit the veggie section, so produce section. So in the produce section, you'll see on packages, if there's food that is packaged, you'll see product of Canada, or you might see on the shelf label, it might have like the little Canadian, made in Canada. There might be a maple leaf, for example. So that's what you can look for, product of Canada. Made in Canada means that you'll see this in the inner aisles. Made in Canada means that the last substantial step of the product was done in Canada, and it may be made with imported and domestic ingredients. So it will have to say imported and domestic ingredients, or just imported ingredients on the actual label. If you see that made in Canada, it doesn't mean that the ingredients are all from Canada, but it was put together here in Canada.
Okay, but product of Canada means all of it?
Product of Canada means that all or virtually all of what is in that product is an ingredient from Canada, and it was prepared here in Canada.
Okay.
So in the produce section, you'll see that product of Canada on packages if you buy like for packaged lettuce, for example. We also have right now in the produce section lots of really great nutritious options. We've got our staple veggies like those long-lasting ones like cabbage, carrots, onions, for example, potatoes. You just really want to check again that they are actually product of Canada. Read the shelf label very closely.
Yeah, and know the difference between the shelf label that's been there for a while maybe, and what's actually the sticker label that's on the potato or the apple or whatever, to make sure that, yes, it matches.
Because it's possible the shelf label just hasn't been changed yet to match the new product that's brought in. Whoops.
And of course, Foodland Ontario is another, it's got to be, grown in Ontario.
That's right. That way you know that it's even more local, right? It's not just Canadian, it's actually grown here in Ontario. So you look for that Foodland Ontario label. So we've got our staple crops. Then we've got another staple, which is Canadian mushrooms. Mushrooms are grown year-round here in Canada, 24/7. They don't have far to travel to your local grocery store, so they're always fresh, always in season. And I really love mushrooms, actually, Annette, because I use them to extend my meals, add a little boost of nutrition in a really budget-friendly way. So last night I made chili. I had a pound of ground turkey, I had a pound of mushrooms diced, and then it adds that umami flavor, but also extends my meals.
Yeah,
exactly. So it does an extension. Veggies, fruits right now, we're a little bit, we have a bit of a limitation.
There are some like greenhouse
strawberries, Ontario apples. That's what we're looking for.
Apples are in cold storage right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, what about milk?
So in the refrigerated section, we're going to find eggs, which are one of the best healthy buys in the grocery store for sure. Canadian eggs, and this egg brand, Burnbrae Farms, it's a Canadian-owned, family-owned egg company that provides Canadians with lots of variety in terms of fresh, affordable and nutritious eggs, carton eggs, and egg products.
Okay.
When you're in the grocery store, you want to look for that product of Canada that we just mentioned will be on the label. That way you know for sure that your eggs are Canadian.
There it is right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've got a minute left.
Okay. So dairy, we want, of course, we were looking for that 100% Canadian milk. We've got cottage cheese, cheese, milk, kefir, yogurt, lots of great Canadian products in the dairy section there as well.
And are we looking for the cow?
You can look for the blue cow. You can look for the Foodland Ontario logos on some of them as well, but yeah, that blue cow quality milk logo.
And we've got 40 seconds left, but I know you wanted to get to legumes as well.
Right, so there's lots of great nutritious products in the inner aisle. We've got legumes, we've got barley, we've got chickpeas, we've got oats, for example, and again here you're going to look for that product of Canada. That way you know that virtually all of the ingredients or all of the ingredients are Canadian or made in Canada, which means that their last major transformation was done here in Canada.
And there's an excellent Government of Canada website that we're going to put up on the link to this that will take you down a rabbit hole you won't believe.
But it explains everything.
It explains everything. Thanks so much, Shannon. So we'll get that up at chch.com/morninglive.